Clause 2. Shall understand the extent of the property of which he is disposing. After discussing cognitive deficiencies, Vaknin says narcissists' grandiose fantasies are borderline delusional. These grandiose fantasies include narcissists believing they have more status, more power, more love, and more money than they actually have. There are many good articles online about the relationship between narcissists and money. One presenting characteristic is an unfortunately named symptom of this delusional overestimation of how much a narcissist actually has versus how much his grandiose fantasies claim he has. It is called compulsive giving. Vaknin has a very informative video called Narcissist as Compulsive Giver. I use air quotation marks because it is not giving in the sense we are taught from an early age as a virtue. In fact, it is a sickness, arguably an addiction like alcohol or nicotine, hence the compulsive qualifier. Think of someone you know who compulsively bites fingernails or checks a smartphone every 5 minutes, or someone who shops themselves into major debt with no thought to the consequences, and you begin to get the idea. The philosophy major in me reflects on the issue of free will versus determinism here. It's quite sad, really. My father equated thank you with I love you. I suspect he never really knew love, even from his own mother, and believed all through his 81 years he had to give in order to receive appreciation from someone else as a substitute for love. He went to his death believing the more he gave, the more love he received in return. He lied to his second cousins, the beneficiaries of his largesse. There's enough in the trust to help with my son's retirement. This was one of his lies and/or delusions. He was deluded about how much he had and did not understand the extent of his property in connection with the facts of his own only child's claims. In truth, the trust is my retirement. It also is, or should be, my Social Security and my Medicare, Medicaid, as I'll never get those for various reasons not discussed here. This is where compulsive giving isn't really giving. The 25% my father gave his second cousins was in reality meant to manipulate and control them into staying with him at his deathbed, telling him every last waking minute what a grand, generous man he was. What would you do if a dying man gave you $100,000? Would you take the money and walk away? Or would you sit with him and tell him what a good soul he was a few times before he died? I bet most people would be a little grateful. The narcissist needs regular praise or pity, like the alcoholic needs alcohol. If this is difficult to grasp, think of bizarre televised cabinet meetings with everyone around the table taking turns kissing ass, or twice daily folders presented by West Wing staff, or how often we see very unfair in tweets. In a narcissist world, money can and does buy love or gratitude in amounts proportionate to amounts given. $100,000 buys a lot of thank yous, however fleeting. It is also self-praise in the way imaginary laudatory letters from news anchors after a great televised cabinet meeting are self-ego stroking, even if nothing but a fiction. One website, which talks about compulsive giving, puts forward these questions to assess an act of giving by compulsive givers. Quote, are they boasting or bragging about their own generosity? Are they submitting others to more power and control as a result of their giving? Are they showing up as selfish and greedy in other aspects of their giving? Do they name drop to whom they gave and how much? End quote. For each question, the answer in my father's case is yes, and there is proof in correspondence and in depositions.